I see beauty in everything. I feel like it's coming out more than ever. The fact that I see beauty in everything, the fact that I feel like I am very in tune with who I am. And the person that I am, it's not someone who just woke up one day and said, okay, let me have an identity crisis and play this character today. Or let me play this character today. It's hard. And the reason I say this is because I used to not see the beauty in everything. And I think that there was a point where when I was younger, maybe, or who knows, when I really can't remember. I just know there was a point in my life where I felt this way, and naturally. And something happened where I started to not see the beauty in things. I started to question whether the beauty that I see or the beauty that is clearly there that I just can't see it, is it even worth trying to see it? Is it even real? And I think when those moments happen, I think it's because things happen to you, words are said to you, you see things and you feel things, and you don't realize the impact it has on you. You don't realize that, okay, I was young, I should not have been put through that, or I was a child, I didn't deserve that, or I'm just a stupid kid in high school who thinks she knows everything and she doesn't. But you deserve someone who's there to constantly remind you that your mistakes that you make, the things that you go through, the way others speak to you, you deserve that sort of protection. Someone to remind you that it's okay to make mistakes. Someone to remind you that you're not your mistakes. And because, once as a child, once you develop like that mindset of knowing right from wrong, whether it's something little, I think majority of kids can apply that to other situations. Like, oh, okay, I knew this was right from wrong. So when you realize your mistakes as a child, I feel like you should have someone there to remind you that, okay, it's fine. You go through it, things happen. Not someone who continues to put you down. Not someone who clearly knows what you're going through or knows what you mean, went through something of that sort, or they were just a kid themselves one time long ago, instead of being manipulative and instead of, blaming you for things that happened. I'm going off on a tangent. Blaming you for things that happened and acting like you're the only one in the world who's ever made a mistake this bad. So that's me saying this is just to reiterate that when we go through these things, we carry them with us. We carry them through every stage of our lives, whether it's our first friendship, our first good friendship, and we don't know how to really be a good friend, or our first relationship, our first real relationship, our first kiss, our first time we made love to somebody, or because when you do all these things for the first time, you think You think it's what's right because it feels good. It feels like it's what makes you happy, but then you realize like it's not probably the smartest thing, but you're not your mistakes. And people tend to have those people in their lives who just make it worse. And it's just kind of like in your face how often you're being reminded of things. And in your environment, when that's all you're around your mistakes, you're around other people's lives who you can clearly resonate with them because they're going through negative things as well, as in, growing up in a family. You just feel those things, and it's the things that you carry with you in your own stages of your lives. And after, I want to say years of carrying something so heavy, moments, the smallest interactions that made huge impacts on you as a person, as a child, as a teenager, you carry all of that into all of the different phases of your life. And you start to think, okay, max of all of my mistakes, of everything that I've ever done, of this has made me who I am. Maybe this is why I do things a certain way. Maybe this is why I'm like this. Maybe this is why I'm like this. Maybe this is why I have no stability, no responsibility. Really, this is why I feel alone. You start to blame yourself, and that causes you to not see the beauty of everything around you. It causes you to just live in your head, live in all of that regret that you have, live in all of the pain, live in all of the mistakes that you've made in your lives, all of the mistakes, that you can feel from your family or your friends, and that lives within you, and that's the only thing you can see. You don't live in the present, you live in the past. You worry about the future based off of the past, and you're never in the moment. You're just living in your head. And when that happens, it's so dangerous. It is so dangerous because you start becoming a darker person. You start becoming someone who gets sad a lot. And when you're around people who actually care about you and they want to know why you're sad, unfortunately there's just so many things in your head that you can't even begin to explain why you're sad. You can't begin to explain, wow, I don't even know why I woke up in such a bad mood. Wow, I don't know why this guy cutting me off on the middle of the road really just pissed me off. And it's starting to rain even more, but I think learning how to acknowledge when it comes to it that you are one person, you are a human being. You were put onto this earth. You were put onto this earth because you were created, and that was it. You were created. You have a purpose for your creation, and there's no book to follow. There's no instructions. There's no manual. There's nothing to tell you, to prevent you. And who's to say, even if they did have a book like that, a book of how to live my life or find my purpose, we would probably break those rules sometime, I feel like once you acknowledge that there's no such thing as a timeline, there's no such thing as, damn, I'm 21, I should have been in school already, or damn, I'm 25, I should have graduated by now. Oh my God, I'm 30, I don't even have a kid. There are things like that a lot of trauma is just inside of you, and it starts to make you think of like how else you're continuing to not meet societal expectations. And I think it's really important to spend some time alone, to spend some time with yourself, and to write down everything that you're feeling. Write down everything that you're feeling, everything that, I know it's hard. It's kind of like just the same way when people say, hey, what's wrong? Why are you sad? Why are you upset? You just want to say, I don't know. And it's hard. So if with the pen and paper, it's kind of just like a word vomit. Just start somewhere. Start writing about how your morning went. Start writing, I woke up and I feel very grateful that I can make this cup of coffee. As I'm drinking this coffee, I'm reminded of all the times growing up that my mom was making coffee, and that smell, it brings back all these memories. Journaling isn't about making a summary of how your day was, or how your previous day was, how your week was. It's just letting go of all of the thoughts in your head. There's no start, there's no finish, but a good start, if you're lost and you don't know what to write about, is just starting about your day, the same day that you're in, or what you're doing right now, what's in front of you, what does it remind you of? The things that you write about. How our mind just bounces in trains of thoughts. Just literally write it down, and you'll see how one word to the next. In the beginning of your journal, you probably wrote about coffee. The end, you're talking about your childhood trauma. That's just because that is the how dense our thoughts are on our mind. And I think it's so important to not live your life being amongst that clutter in your head, because that person who once saw the beauty in everything, that innocent child, that innocent teenager, the person who was filled with love as an adult, and somehow during their adulthood is when they went through something traumatic. That person who saw the beauty in everything, it's still in there. And you need to find a way to get back to it. If that's any advice that I can give, that's the most important thing that you can do for yourself, for your relationships, for your purpose, for your children, is to sit by yourself and tap into your thoughts and write it down. Because you will be so surprised one day when you wake up, you're running late to work, you spilled coffee on your pants, you stepped on dog poop, all within a matter of 30 minutes. You'll realize in that scenario, when you finally sit down in your car and you're off to work after all of that happening, wow, I don't feel as drained as I thought this would make me. You don't sit down and you're not like, oh my God, and then you bring all of that energy to the next place that you're going to. You don't feel like that, because you're doing a practice where all of the other things that was behind what happened to you that morning of spilling coffee on yourself, clearly it wasn't that ticked you off. It was the fact that, okay, I woke up late because I went to bed last night strolling my life away for hours on Instagram. And the reason that I'm on Instagram is because I'm constantly comparing myself to all of these lives, all of these people that I once knew in middle school. And I remember this girl from middle school. She used to be so mean to me, and now she's this, It's all of this negativity that people, not many people go through this. Not many. And they are the most fortunate that they don't have that type of train of thought. They're very fortunate, because guess what? There are a lot of people who think that way. There's so many people who think like that. And when you learn how insignificant all of that is, you're just adding all of this extra stress, all of this extra negative energy into your head, because that's all you know how to do. All you know how to do is blame yourself and compare yourself and think about everything bad that happened to you. It causes you to live a lifestyle where that's all you do. You know, you don't smile at people at the grocery store. You're very angry. You don't appreciate what you have in front of you. You yell. You listen to respond. I mean, you listen and you don't listen to respond. You listen off of reaction. And all of that is heavy. It's all heavy. It all means something. It all stems from someplace. There's no way that you can live a happy life, or at least as happy as you can get yourself to be, if you are strung off on all the bullshit that happened to you. All the mistakes, all of the unaccomplished things, everything that happened to you. You can't live a happy life. And when that happens, that heaviness that keeps building and building and building, you're going to realize that you're going to wake up one day and the slightest things that really pisses you off, it's going to click. It's going to click one day for those people that God needs them to heal, that the universe needs them to heal. They're going to wake up one day and realize, I am so done letting this piss me off. I am so done reacting to something so small. I am so done of all of that. I feel like those are the awakenings that people speak of. Those are those epiphany moments, the times that your life was saved because it means something. That's the universe, that is God trying to speak to you, telling you, okay, you're aware, you got it. This is what I needed you to do. Now go continue to do something about it. Every single day. Every single day. It's what you have to do. It's what you have to do to keep healthy relationships going, to keep yourself happy. It's what you have to do. And all it takes is day by day. 5 minutes, 10 minutes of just sitting with yourself and taking care of yourself and acknowledging the things that hurt you, the things that make you sad. That's all it takes. Because one day you're going to look back and you're going to say, wow, it's been 1 week and I've been meditating. It's been 2 months and I feel happier. It's been 3 months and I've been consistent in doing a hobby. You're going to realize how you healing within yourself reflects into your lifestyle. It reflects onto your relationships, onto your friendships, onto your work life, your personal life. It reflects because it all starts with you. It all starts how you feel about yourself. And I don't know why, but I just left the store and something told me to just make this video and let this out because it's been weighing heavy on my chest. And I guess I did it more so as my journal entry for the day, just because I have been out doing stuff and woke up, with some anxiousness. And I woke up feeling like, oh my God, I have to do something, but I didn't have to do anything. I'm caught up with everything that I've been caught up with, and I don't like when I feel that way. I needed to speak. I needed to talk about things, and I'm glad I was able to let this all out. And I'll probably share this on my YouTube just so it can be just a little entry, sort of saying.